Hola y'all, it's Jessie with Seasonal Southern Living in Spanish. Today, I have a wonderful side dish for you that is delicious, super healthy. It's gonna be excellent for meal prep whenever you're getting ready for the week and you're trying to stay on track. I'm gonna show you how to make roasted Brussels sprouts with smoked ham. This dish actually comes at a great time because the holidays are over, and if you're like me, you have leftover ham, maybe even leftover turkey, and you want to find ways to use it, or at least I want to find ways to use it that are tasty and delicious before I slice it up and put it in the freezer. I don't like to waste food. So I love Brussels sprouts, and I usually use bacon fat or bacon when I roast them in the oven, and I thought, why don't I just chop up some of the smoked ham and put it in there for a little bit of a variation. This is what came out. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my smoked ham, and yes, I'm trying to be health conscious, and so I'm trying to give you accurate information here. I weighed this and it's about 3 ounces of smoked ham, and I'm just going to cut this into cubes. After I've cubed my smoked ham, now I'm going to take my Brussels sprouts, and at my grocery store they come already bagged like this. I did get my scale and go ahead and weigh them. So this amount of Brussels sprouts is going to cost us around 200 calories. And I'm just going to take them and I'm going to cut them in half.
It was at this moment that I realized that I forgot to cut the ends off of my Brussels sprouts, so I went back and did that.
Okay, now that I have all of my Brussels sprouts split in half, I'm just gonna add them to a baking sheet. And when I started this process, when I started slicing my ham or cutting it into cubes, I actually went ahead and preheated my oven to 350 degrees. So that's been going. That way, by the time I get finished prepping everything, it'll be ready to go in the oven. So I'm just adding my Brussels sprouts, just like that. And then I'm gonna add the cubed ham. I was worried that 3 ounces wasn't gonna be enough ham. That's plenty. You might actually could do less, especially if you're just, trying to be super conscious of those calories. We are going to measure so that we can stay on track. So a tablespoon of olive oil, just like that. That oil is going to cost us about 120 calories, but the Brussels sprouts really do need something. Next thing I'm going to add is half a tablespoon of onion powder and half a tablespoon of garlic powder. Each one of these are going to cost us about 12 to 15 calories each, and they just add excellent flavor. So I'm going to sprinkle this. Don't worry, I'm going to be mixing this by hand. And in case you're wondering, I do sometimes roast Brussels sprouts with tinfoil lined on the baking dish. But when I did it on Christmas Day, when I went in there to scrape up my Brussels sprouts and to toss them around, the foil ripped. And I was so worried that it was going to get in the food. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that with this vegetable. The next thing we're going to add is a tablespoon of raw honey. This just adds a little bit of sweetness that I think that the Brussels sprouts benefit greatly from. You can add that sweetness a lot of different ways. I'm going to use honey. I've also used jelly, and of course you can sprinkle brown sugar. Again, we're going to mix this with our hands. But to get this extra out, I'm going to take one of the sprouts and just go in there and get it out. And I'm going to take another one and do the same thing so that nothing is wasted. All right, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. This just, I don't know, it just brightens it up. It just does something for the Brussels sprouts. I'm going to pour that right on there like that. And the last thing I want to add are pine nuts. I love texture, and I'm always trying to find a way to put in some crunch. So, just gonna put those right over there. Wait a minute. Salt and pepper. Now, my ham was pretty salty, so I'm not gonna go crazy with the salt, but the Brussels sprouts need seasoning. And I'm gonna do a little bit of black pepper. That looks good to me. Now I'm gonna use the best tools that I have, my hands, and I'm gonna toss this together, make sure everything is coated, and I'm gonna pop it into a 350-degree oven. I know that here I gave you some of the calorie counts for all the ingredients in the dish. If you look on my blog post and at the recipe, I've broken everything down for you so that you can stay on track and know exactly what you're putting into your body. Okay, just came out of the oven. Look at that. So good. Now it's time to taste. And I know this is hot, so I'm gonna try to be careful. I've got me a Brussels sprout. I don't know if I can get it all on one, bite. So I'm gonna put this in my mouth. I'm gonna go back and get some pine nuts. So good. It's just delicious. I hope you make it and try it. Come back for even more healthy recipes, vegetables, side dishes, snacks, devotions, stories, and anything and everything in between that I can throw at you. Hope you have a great day. Adios.